competitive sparring matching. So we had to stop sparring because we got too heated in the sparring match. So Dan pulled us out. Yeah, he got the better of me. He outboxed me. He got the better of me. He did his thing that day, but not to me.
Him either. I had disliked a lot of things that he was saying, and how he was acting. Being that, me, I'm a real individual. I just felt like, we was all cool at one.
Terence Crawford has responded to Floyd Mayweather after the boxing legend leaked footage of their sparring session to mock the three-division undisputed champion and dismiss claims that Crawford is better than him.
Hey, good hook, baby. There you go. You only threw one. Good game. Don't break. He's a beast. He's a beast, baby.
Floyd Mayweather has been trying to make Terence Crawford look bad ever since his win over Canelo. As fans began claiming Crawford was the better boxer, Mayweather, after repeatedly calling him out with no success, posted a short clip of their sparring session on social media showing himself getting the better of Crawford. However, he deleted the video shortly after. But that didn't stop Crawford from noticing and firing back. He responded with a message to Floyd, saying, "This man's such a hater. That wasn't even the full clip. I caught him many times. I don't know why he's being shady."
Mentioned and talked about and, signed, I just felt like he just did a lot of fake stuff and said a lot of stuff that, a person that you claim that you cool with, you would never say. So that was my big issue with him. I just know, character take you a long way, and I just don't agree with.
Floyd Mayweather has been pushing for a matchup with Crawford ever since fans began calling Crawford the GOAT after his win over Canelo. This didn't sit well with Floyd, especially since he was never undisputed, while Crawford is now undisputed in 3 different weight classes. Still, Crawford has mostly ignored him, saying a fight with Floyd would only be easy money.
And what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter, though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But, his core personality.
Mayweather was pushed to call out Crawford not only because fans demanded it, but also because 2 of his former opponents claimed Crawford is better than him, something he sees as a major insult to his legacy. Along with Canelo, Shane Mosley, who lost to Mayweather on points 15 years ago, echoed the same view.
All right, Jeff Zimmerman here with the champ, Tim Desert Storm Bradley, 2-division world champ, and oh, by the way, a Hall of Famer. Man, Tim, I want to call you the most outspoken man in boxing. And I mean that affectionately. I gave Keith Thurman.
Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Shane Mosley boldly claimed he believes Bud Crawford is actually better than Mayweather, while still giving credit to his former rival's talent. "I think Crawford is better, bigger, he's actually moving up in weight classes. I'd say Crawford is a better all-around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though, you can't knock him. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of his long arms and size."
Better out of those 2, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually, he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all-around fighter. Mayweather's...
Fans and experts worldwide have already begun debating whether Bud Crawford can now be considered the greatest fighter of all time after his historic victory over Canelo, a win that has once again placed the 37-year-old at the top of the pound-for-pound list. Canelo, both before and after the fight, made his stance clear, insisting Crawford was the better man. At the post-fight press conference, Canelo declared, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather."
Can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can?
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
This statement carries significant weight given that it came from someone who has faced defeats at the hands of both Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. Canelo's decision to make such a bold claim immediately after his loss highlights either great sportsmanship or a genuine belief in Crawford's superiority as an undefeated fighter. The Mexican superstar's remarks quickly ignited heated debate within the boxing community. Some fans praised Crawford's courage to move up multiple weight classes and consistently take on elite opponents, while others stood firm in defending Mayweather's flawless record and unmatched resume. Terence Crawford himself pointed out that Canelo's opinion comes from first-hand experience, as Alvarez has shared the ring with both men. Speaking on the Ariel Helwani show, Crawford explained, "Canelo was in the ring with both of us. People can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us."
Feel to hear that from someone like him?
I just was like, well, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. One where he felt like he was at the best
as well by just pivoting, on an angle and making Canelo reach. There were spots inside the ring that I saw Crawford, try.
Ultimately, this debate will continue because it's rooted in subjective opinion. What remains objective is that both fighters are undefeated, at least for now in Crawford's case, have been long-standing champions across multiple weight classes, and will be remembered as two of the greatest American boxers in the history of the sweet science. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, McIntyre, wearing a hat with the word GAT, made it clear he believes Crawford is the greatest of all time. According to him, Bud's success isn't just his own, but the result of a dedicated team that has helped him dominate 3 divisions like no one else today. When asked directly about Canelo's statement, his response was blunt. "Who, Terence? Of course he is. Of course, he's better."
Wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd?
I don't know. I thought you'd hesitate maybe even a bit. But
for Bulak, the discussion is straightforward. Crawford has already surpassed what Mayweather represented in the ring. While the debate continues, Crawford himself has remained calm. After defeating Alvarez on the scorecards, he chose to avoid the historical comparison, stating, "Floyd was the greatest of his era. I'm the greatest of mine. We don't need to compare ourselves." His words showed respect for Mayweather but did little to stop fans and experts from keeping the controversy alive.
Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter.
After all, Mayweather defeated a young Canelo back in 2013, while Crawford beat a far more experienced version of the Mexican star, which adds weight to this new narrative. Sports analyst Stephen A. Smith also highlighted the distinction between Crawford and Mayweather. According to him, Crawford's greatness comes from not only outboxing Canelo technically, but also trading punches, withstanding pressure, and emerging stronger. However, Smith drew a clear contrast with Mayweather, emphasizing that Floyd was a defensive wizard who was nearly impossible to hit.
Though you can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician.
According to the analyst, that is the key difference. While Crawford displayed grit and adaptability, Mayweather built his legacy on an almost untouchable defense. The boxing world remains divided. Some believe Crawford has already surpassed Mayweather, while others insist Floyd's defensive mastery is unmatched. What's clear is that both defined their own eras and elevated the sport through unique styles. The Crawford versus Mayweather debate is only just beginning, and with Canelo's admission and Bomac's remarks, the conversation is sure to dominate headlines. What cannot be denied is that Bud has already secured his place among boxing's great immortals.
Right. How do you think a fight between both of them turn out?
If Mayweather gets hit with Crawford like I hit him and rocked, it might not end well for Mayweather. They might be over it. But Mayweather could outbox Crawford, I think, because Crawford has the mindset that I'm trying to knock you out, and Mayweather knows how to play to that I'm trying to knock you out type of thing, because he's used to people coming at him trying to hit him hard all the time.
However, an interesting debate arises when comparing how Mayweather and Crawford built their undefeated records. This very argument was raised by active boxer Ryan Garcia during the September 10th segment of Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring show.
Another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, I don't know. I don't go off of that. Floyd is the best fighter you know, in his era, and I feel like I'm the best fighter.
After a discussion about why Max Kellerman believes Manny Pacquiao should rank above Mayweather on a pound-for-pound list of the best boxers of the century, the debate shifted to ESPN's recent article placing Floyd at number 1 and Pacquiao at number 2. Former NFL player LaShawn McCoy argued, "Nobody has changed the game like Floyd Money Mayweather." To which Ryan Garcia shot back, "In a bad way. In a bad way." Garcia then explained, "Mayweather mastered the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. He's the best at that game. He's the best at making money and putting on all the huge fights. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought anyone really in their prime after junior lightweight. So he changed the game in the worst way possible." You're right, everybody is trying to protect their zero on their record.
Money Mayweather. He mastered the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. I mean, that he's the best in that game. He's the best in, you know, making money and making all the, you know, the huge fights happen. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought nobody really in their prime. He always
after junior lightweight. Junior lightweight.
He changed the game in the worst way possible. You're right. Everybody's trying to protect their own. I had
a lot of the stuff that Canelo was doing. And, you know, that I would say this, that work from boots helped in that aspect because Canelo was reacting to a lot of the counters that Crawford was throwing. Usually in the past, you know, Canelo would stand right there. He would lunge and he would stay in place, keep his feet in place. However, Canelo...
Truly, Crawford's recent accomplishments have led many to question that hierarchy, and the timing couldn't be more fitting as he reaches the absolute peak of his powers while still competing at the sport's highest level. On his show Inside the Ring, Max Kellerman drew on decades of boxing analysis to weigh in on the Crawford versus Mayweather debate. The veteran commentator acknowledged that Mayweather holds certain advantages over Crawford, particularly in resume, depth, defensive mastery, and hand speed, technical strengths that made him one of the most dominant champions in boxing history.
Because, like, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first.
However, Kellerman noted that Mayweather grew increasingly selective with his opponents after moving past the lightweight division, often timing when he faced dangerous fighters. While this strategic approach protected his undefeated record, it also raised doubts about his willingness to meet every challenger in their prime years. In contrast, Kellerman highlighted Crawford's consistent eagerness to face anyone throughout his career, suggesting that this mentality connects differently with both boxing fans and fellow fighters.
But then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with every...
If you look at Floyd's resume, it's far deeper than Crawford's. Floyd was quicker, had better defense, and possessed skills that set him apart. But once he left lightweight, he began carefully choosing when to face opponents. Crawford, on the other hand, even with a resume that some consider thin, showed he was willing to take on anyone at any time, and that makes a difference to people. The analyst also drew striking comparisons between Crawford and legendary fighters like Roy Jones Jr., with Kellerman suggesting that Crawford has earned a similar level of respect among his peers. This reflects a status that goes beyond record books and statistical comparisons.
Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in the fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
yes,
fight.
Yes, sir. I love you, Terence.
They came in all shapes and sizes with different skill sets, but they all shared the same goal: defeat Floyd Mayweather. Zab Judah, long regarded as a master boxer, gave Mayweather trouble in 2006, using his speed and sharp combinations to impress early. For at least the first 2 rounds, 2 of the 3 ringside judges had Judah ahead. But once Mayweather found his rhythm, the tide turned. From that point on, he outclassed the trash-talking New Yorker and coasted to a unanimous decision victory.
Guess what I just got done studying? Floyd Mayweather, Zab Judah. Yep, that's what I just got done studying. And I'm here to tell you guys, yeah, Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But
the World Boxing Council's latest super middleweight rankings are out, and Canelo Alvarez is no longer the champion. He now sits as the #1 contender at 168 pounds. We take a look at the biggest shifts in the division and what this change could mean for Canelo's future. Meanwhile, Marcos Maidana took a very different approach from those who faced Mayweather before him. Across their 2 fights, he showed no interest in trying to outbox him. Instead, Maidana pressed forward, buried his head into Mayweather's chest, threw awkward and often unpolished punches, and roughed him up for a full 24 rounds.
Would beat a prime Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he would beat him. Yes, it would be a competitive fight, but Crawford, master thinker just like Floyd. What the advantage that Floyd has is that he has great defense. The advantage that Crawford has is that he not only can fight orthodox, he can also he's versatile. He can fish the south.
Though effective, it was yet another case of a fighter lacking the tools to get the job done. Miguel Cotto, however, brought a little bit of everything. He could box, move, fight on the inside, fight on the outside, and was as tough as they came. Still, even with Hall of Fame credentials, it wasn't enough to secure the win. While the former 5-division champion never met his equal, Tim Bradley believes Mayweather retired just in time to protect his record. Speaking to Fight.com, Bradley declared, Terence Crawford would beat Prime Mayweather. I said this 5 years ago. I'm telling you, he would beat him.
He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford, especially from the southpaw.
As Bradley mentioned, he has been praising Crawford for years. Just a few days ago, his constant insistence on elevating Crawford and placing him on a pedestal was finally validated. Last weekend at Allegiant Stadium, Terence Crawford, entering as the underdog against Canelo Alvarez, turned the fight into a one-sided beating, winning by unanimous decision and claiming all 4 major world titles at 168 pounds. The Omaha, Nebraska native delivered a near-flawless performance, convincing many that he is now the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, a distinction once held by Mayweather.
And we all know that Floyd don't like to fight southpaws. We know that. What happens when you have a guy just as smart as you are and able to make adjustments like Crawford? What happens when you have a guy that can hurt you with either hand? A guy that's powerful and strong like Crawford. A guy that's quick as Crawford. A guy that can fight you in the pocket. A guy that knows how to execute that Philly shell. He knows how to bust through that. He'll have enough.
During Mayweather's reign at the top, his path never crossed with Crawford's. Now, with Mayweather comfortably retired, Tim Bradley continues to entertain the what-if scenario. While the outcome will never be known, Bradley insists that in a hypothetical matchup, Crawford would come out on top. It's nothing against Floyd, Bradley explained. Floyd is one of my favorite fighters of all time. He's a fantastic fighter. He would be Crawford's toughest opponent, but I just think Crawford would have enough to beat him. In Bradley's view, Crawford would win by a close decision.
The best man won.
Is Canelo washed up now at 35 years old?
Oh, I don't know. Boxing is a lot of wear and tear on the body. Maybe so. I'm not really sure.
Would you be interested in seeing a rematch, or would the fight be the same? Would it ultimately end up the same way?
I don't know. It's up to those two guys. They want to do a rematch. Do a rematch. If not, keep it moving.
Would you watch it?
Mayweather convincingly defeated the Mexican star back in 2013, yet Alvarez praised Crawford as being far better than him during his post-fight press conference. The 48-year-old admitted his former rival might be past his prime but insisted the Omaha native fully deserved the victory. Speaking to TMZ Sports, he said, "It's good for boxing. It was exciting. The best man won. I don't know if Canelo is washed up. Boxing takes a lot of wear and tear on the body. Maybe so. I'm not really sure."
About this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again?
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
The fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and hey, this is not, we're going to have fun, we're going to throw a few punches, like I'm taking this serious?
Both fighters have kept quiet about their next moves. However, Saudi boxing chief Turki Alalshik confirmed after meeting with Alvarez that the 35-year-old will honor the 2 remaining fights on his Riyadh season contract. Meanwhile, Mayweather is set to make his return in an exhibition bout against former undisputed heavyweight champion Mike Tyson next year. And that's all for now. For the latest updates on news, moments, events, and action in the world of boxing, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss fresh content. Until next time, peace out.